11:06 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Chris Hand. Sorry, I was a little bit delayed there. My daughter's starring in a play down at the Arts Center of Cannon County.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah, so they just finished her first show for the day. And my wife said she rocked it.
Nice.
She's doing Sherlock Holmes. So
all right.
If you're in the Woodbury area, not only do they have the best McDonald's in Middle Tennessee, but they also have a great art center as well. So if you want to go see Sherlock Holmes this weekend, you can see the star, Kennedy Hand. So I was just responding to that. Got some pictures sent to me. Just doing dad stuff. Getting distracted. The show is brought to you by Better Water, LLC. Water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. You can find me on Twitter, True Social, and Instagram at Chris Hand on Air. Hit the follow button. I will follow back. So we got these anti-ice groups in L.A. And this should shock nobody. But what will shock you is how brazen these losers are. So anti-ice, you're against immigration, customs, and enforcement. Got it. Well, now they're teaching activists how to disrupt federal immigration operations. It's a coalition, they say, based in Los Angeles, training groups across the United States on how to interfere with federal immigration enforcement operations. Their tactics include patrolling neighborhoods, alerting illegal immigrants, illegal aliens of ICE activity, and even disrupting active ICE raids. The group is called the Community Self-Defense Coalition. It's the naming, right? The left in the names. They got to make it sound like sunshine and rainbows and flowers, right? But what they're really doing is they're not defending the community at all. They're allowing criminals and rapists and violent offenders to stay in the community by warning them when ICE is coming down the block. So the group is called Community Self-Defense Coalition. They're made up of more than 50 left-wing activist organizations, and they recently interfered with 2 ICE operations on Sunday in California, one in San Fernando and another in Alhambra. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I don't really care. It's California. But a spokesperson for ICE said that federal agents were attempting to arrest illegal aliens with criminal records, and the group showed up and disrupted their operations over the weekend. Then Ron Gochez, he's the leader and the organizer with Union del Barrio, an anti-ICE activist group, and he decided that they're going to get on the news and brag about this. I don't understand why they're so brazen. But I hope that this guy gets a visit from Tom Homan or Kristi Noem very, very soon.
We are training the members of the coalition to do these patrols. We've been doing the patrols for years in Los Angeles and San Diego, but yesterday we had more than 150 people combing through the streets of Los Angeles looking for any ICE activity. And early in the morning, we found 2 operations, and luckily we were able to defend those 2 communities from those ICE raids.
Defend the communities from the ICE raids. Defending the communities from ICE raids. They're going after gang members and rapists and murderers. And you think that you're defending the community? You're actually keeping the community in heaps of danger. Tons of danger. And you can hear it every time Tom Homan talks about the raids that they're doing. They're picking up murderers, child sex predators, and more. They picked up a bunch of these guys in Texas yesterday.
Border Czar Tom Homan, who joined this operation, tells me that they arrested about 90 illegal migrants here. This makes it the largest operation that we have seen under the Trump administration. Homan says this is part of a much larger criminal investigation. He called this phase 1 and something they have been planning for a while. Early Monday morning, HSI, along with special agents and Texas DPS, made the arrest in and around Colony Ridge, a largely Hispanic development outside of Houston.
Colony Ridge, the Daily Wire exposed that. Colony Ridge is the illegal alien subdivision, if you will. It's basically a massive city, and they were giving home loans to illegal aliens. You remember Colony Ridge.
We sat down with Border Czar Tom Homan right after he joined that operation.
There were target enforcement operations. We went with warrants on some people. Some were worksite operations, and others were traffic stops conducted by Texas DPS. The last number I saw was like 69 criminals. I know for a fact there were several sexual predators. I mean, child predators that were arrested for sexual misconduct with a child. There were several of them. I know there's one that was convicted of either homicide or murder.
So he's picking up child sex predators and child rapists and murderers and gang members. And you have this activist organization in L.A. actively training people to disrupt this. Why would anybody want to disrupt this? Can it make sense? Am I missing something? Is it this is the what's the name of their organization? The Community Self-Defense Coalition. Is the community safer with child sex predators in it? Is the community safer with murderers in it? Is the community safer with gangbangers in it? I'm just asking questions. They're training people to disrupt these operations where they're taking child sex predators off the street. They're training people to disrupt the operations where they're taking murderers and gang members off the street. And then they're going on the news and they're bragging about it.
So tell me a little bit about what is working, because you are patrolling these communities. What's working? What isn't working? And how is the community responding to you patrolling the streets?
Well, the child sex predators, I'm sure, love it. The gang members, I'm sure, love it. The drug dealers, absolutely huge fans of the Community Self-Defense Coalition.
What's working are the patrols. We're in every neighborhood of Los Angeles. This morning already, we have combed through dozens of communities of Los Angeles looking for ICE activity. We do this at 5:30 in the morning because we know that's when ICE starts their operations. So before they can go and attack our community, we are looking for them, and when we find them, we alert people with megaphones. That works. The megaphones wakes up the people, they let them know what's happening, and they also let ICE know that we're there and we're not going to leave. We're going to defend our community. We have the legal right to do so. Everything we're doing is legal. We don't intend to break any laws. We are there to defend our community, and more people are joining this cause.
Oh, so your community is child sex predators, murderers, and gang members. Got it. Defend them, sir. By all means. Why? Why is this allowed on any level? Why does the news think that this is a story people want to hear? What am I missing? Honestly, what am I missing? You know, if some of these sanctuary cities would just allow ICE to pick up these people in jails, a lot of these community patrols would be unnecessary as it is. But they're just putting more people in danger. They don't give a damn. They don't give a damn at all. Child sex predators, no problem. Gangbangers, no problem. Murderers, they're part of the community. Okay. I expect this stuff to ramp up. I hope some of these people are held accountable for what they're doing. At what point are they impeding? Blackwater CEO Eric Prince has entered the chat. Blackwater CEO Eric Prince is offering the Trump administration his company's services to conduct deportation operations. All right. You know, we've said a couple times here on the show, it doesn't feel like it's going quick enough. It feels like we need to step it up. And Eric Prince he's throwing his hat into the ring. He's saying that he's given a proposal that would involve using military bases as processing camps and a fleet of 100 planes. He said that he could get 500,000 illegals deported per month. I'll repeat that again. CEO of Blackwater, Eric Prince, says that he's willing to do this privately and deport 500,000 illegal aliens per month. Says he could get a total of 12 million deported before the 2026 midterms. The price tag? $25 billion. Relatively cheap. Relatively inexpensive. I don't think it's a bad idea at all. I think that all opportunities need to be explored. All options need to be on the table. And if Eric Prince wants to do this, who says no? Does Tom Homan say no? We need to ramp this up. We need to ramp it up fast. Let's do it. But, listen, we've stopped the bleeding at the border for the most part. via the Trump admin policies. Now we need to get these people out. Down at the border, they're abandoning their hopes of getting into the country. And it's because Trump shut down the CBP One app. It's because they're not taking BS asylum claims anymore. There's no more catch and release, no more free entry, no free cash cards, no free flights, no free hotel rooms. And everybody's sharing that on social media. So we have almost stopped the bleeding entirely at the southern border. Now we need to get people out. Yeah, I'd sign Eric Prince up in a heartbeat if he wanted that job. $25 billion. I mean, some of the numbers that were being thrown around was like $80 billion, $100 billion to deport all the illegal aliens. And they weren't at the speed that Eric Prince is saying he can do it. Meanwhile, we have people leaking information on ICE raids and patrolling the streets to stop ICE raids. Yeah, we need to do something a little bit different. We do. And to the people that are leaking ICE raids, Carolyn Levitt had a message for them at her press conference yesterday saying, yeah, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. Kristi Noem yesterday as well saying we're gonna find some of these leakers, and we have found some of these ICE raid leakers.
I have found some leakers. We are continuing to get more. They will be fired. There will be consequences. And remember, when they leak information to the press in order to blow an op, they are putting law enforcement lives in jeopardy.
Yep.
They are risking their lives and putting their families in the position where they have to live without those individuals any further. So you bet we have used every tactic that we have. If you remember, we talked just last week about how I'm using polygraphs to go after and to really interview these folks. Because we are a national security agency, I have that tool I can use. Also looking at their emails, looking at their communications. And it's amazing how these bureaucrats who have an agenda to stop the work that we're doing to bring safety to America, how they will sell each other down the river if it's just to protect themselves. So don't worry, I am doing everything to find these leakers and to get rid of them so that we can do our work and our law enforcement officers and agents can do it safely.
You know, one of the things about like ICE raid leakers or like the weird NSA chats or intel ops threatening to sell information to our adversaries, they're just exposing themselves over and over and over again. These are definitely going to be some growing pains that we're going to be working out of the system here soon. But this isn't necessarily a bad thing that we're identifying them. We're identifying them and then we're removing them. It's actually it's a net positive. It's a net positive. But you have these groups, the Community Self-Defense Patrol. Okay. You know the type of people that they're protecting, right? It's murderers and rapists. It's stories like these.
21-year-old Colombian national Robert Rodriguez Melendez in court accused of rape. The victim, a woman waiting for her food to be delivered by a female Uber Eats driver.
You know, it's this story in particular struck a chord with me because we've talked with Savannah Hernandez, investigative journalist, multiple times, and she exposed how Uber Eats, Uber, all this stuff, you can buy access to these accounts online if you're an illegal alien, so that way you can make money in the country. And I would just put a warning out there to any female who's getting in an Uber or getting Uber Eats. You need to listen to this story because it's horrifying. This guy had an Uber Eats account that was not his. It was registered to a female, and he shows up at this woman's house, and this is in Massachusetts, and he brutally raped her.
The woman in the driver's profile, allegedly his own mother.
When the delivery driver arrived, it was a male party rather than the female party listed on the delivery driver's profile. The driver did not speak English, but told the named victim that she needed a 4-digit code in order to complete the delivery.
That's when trouble started. The victim allegedly let him in out of the cold and called her Spanish-speaking friend on a 3-way call to Uber tech support.
At some point during the call, the man gained possession of the victim's phone and disconnected the call.
The hang-up led to horror. Eventually, the rape in a nearby bathroom ended apparently due to the victim's Spanish-speaking friend calling her incessantly.
She reported that she picked up her phone, called Miss Maldonado back, and asked her to tell the suspect to leave.
Days after he fled the attack, police tracked the illegal immigrant down. His case moved from district to superior court. Prosecutors want him behind bars.
Yeah, no kidding they want him behind bars. But these are the type of people that these individuals blocking ICE raids are protecting. Make no mistake about it. They're not protecting the community. They're protecting the people terrorizing the community. It's 11:21 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Did you know you're overpaying for your health and wellness products?
With over 20 company-owned brands offering its members vitamins, supplements, wellness, and skincare products, you're able to save up to 70% off retail.
Members Nutrition can't change your life, but we can change the way you live.
Got another crash getting in the way. This one's going to be in Jolton, 24 eastbound at Whites Creek Pike. But the stop and go starts at the Cheatham-Davidson County line. Researchers think they found another way to reduce your risk of cancer. We'll tell you about that and more at 11:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Thank you, Ken Weaver. 25 minutes past the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I'm Chris Hand. You can watch us on Super Talk TV. We had an issue with the stream. It's back up. Hit like and subscribe. We do appreciate it over on YouTube. You can listen to us anywhere. iHeartRadio, TuneIn, the 99.7 WTN app, Classic on the FM dial, however you do it. We appreciate it. If you missed something, you want to hear it again, podcasts are always available on Apple and Spotify. My show is brought to you by the great people at Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. I think that's all the things. A lot of things. I got a text here. You know, we're talking about the crimes conducted by illegal aliens in this country. And 5141 texts in, said, you act like you care about sex crimes when you love the grab 'em by the blank guy, with a picture of Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. Okay. I said call in. How much you want to bet he's not going to call in? How much you want to bet? Same guy who was saying that Doge is run by a Nazi. I mean, you can go back in his chat. He's an unhinged lunatic.
Yeah, I have nothing to bet, but I'd happily sit here and take his call.
Yep. These people. Do a little research.
Just a little bit.
Do just a tiny bit.
Just a little bit.
You can find videos online of lawyers for Epstein victims talking about how much Donald Trump helped them. Actually, it's like a quick Google search. I know it's tough. Internet's tough. Not having information force fed to you is tough. Thinking for yourself is tough when you're a member of the left. But hey, call in if you want. 5141.
It's only tough to find stuff on the internet if your main browser is Bing.
I'll help. And a lot of people pointing out, we were talking about the Community Self-Defense Coalition or something like that. Basically, these guys are interrupting ICE raids in California. And they're doing it by walking up with megaphones at 5:30 in the morning and screaming, ICE is coming! Like the British is coming. ICE is coming. ICE is coming. And a lot of people on the text line saying, just arrest them on noise ordinances. So if I got woke up at 5:30 in the morning with a megaphone, I don't believe I would be pissed. I don't believe being a public nuisance is legal. A couple of people saying they should be charged with violating noise ordinances. Kathy said that as well. 6682. Bunch of people. Obstruction of justice will buy these idiots a long vacation at Guantanamo Bay. That would be nice. David in Greenbrier wants to talk about these California idiots. What's up, Dave?
Hey, man. Good morning first. These individuals, ICE agents out in California or anywhere in the United States, as well as the supervisors that found individuals informing individuals of an ICE raid, they all can be charged with obstruction of official business of a police officer and arrested right then.
Yeah, and they should be. They should have the book thrown at them.
Oh, yeah, they should. And a minimum of a 90-day sentence and fine a sympathetic it's a federal crime, send them to a federal court with a sympathetic judge to oversee it, but give them no bail.
I'm with you. That would be that's going to be tough in California. You understand the state that they're in and why they're operating there.
Well, that's why you try to find a federal judge that's simple. Even if you had to, in a federal crime, you can take them to Texas. You can take them anywhere within the federal government to be prosecuted. It ain't got to be in California.
That's a good point, Dave, and I appreciate the call, my man. Thank you so much. Hey, we got updates on Doge. We got audio coming out of the cabinet meeting. Donald Trump is taking questions. We'll cover that when we get back. Plus, the Trump administration is ordering federal agencies to prepare for massive downsizing by March 13th. Hold on to your britches. We'll be back in a moment. It's 11:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
$11:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Again, drivers, we've got some pothole work. Right lane block, 24 eastbound at Whites Creek Pike. A 25-minute delay. Yeah, it starts getting bumper to bumper right there at New Hope Road, exit 31. President Trump holding the first cabinet meeting of his second term, addressing the effort to end the war in Ukraine.
We're doing very well with Russia, Ukraine. President Zelensky is going to be coming on Friday. That's now confirmed, and we're going to be signing an agreement, which will be a very big agreement.
Zelensky today called the deal a framework, saying he wants security guarantees added in exchange for mineral rights. Meanwhile, Elon Musk told the room he's getting death threats for the work of Doge, but won't be deterred from meeting the goal of identifying $1 trillion in federal spending cuts by next year.
We can actually find $1 trillion in savings. That would be roughly 15% of the $7 trillion budget. And obviously that can only be done with the support of everyone in this room.
Meanwhile, a memo from the Trump administration directs federal agencies to start preparing for large-scale layoffs and a detailed plan for carrying them out. And now that the framework for a budget bill has passed a House vote, where does it go from here?
The Senate's going to take it now. Of course, they passed their bill. It's going to be, they wanted to do 2 reconciliation bills, which I think is dangerous. I think we can get it all done in one on the first try. That's going to be better in the long run because these things can fall apart in a hurry, as you saw.
As Tennessee Congressman Scott DesJarlais, and a new study suggests that closely following the Mediterranean diet could help lower the risk of cancer. Eva Pilgrim.
A new study finding people who closely followed the diet lower the risk for all obesity-related cancers by 6%. Now, digging into the numbers, it cut the chance of kidney and esophageal cancers by 1/3. Researchers looked at collected data from people ages 35 to 80 from 1992 to 2000 in 10 European countries. They gave participants scores of low, medium, and high for following the diet. And they observed those with the highest scores reduced their risk the most.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
It's 11:36 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, how are you? It's Chris Hand. Show's brought to you by Better Water LLC, water filtration systems, water softeners, betterwater.com. We appreciate those guys. We appreciate you listening however you may be on the iHeartRadio app, the TuneIn app, the 99.7 WTN app, or if you're watching on your smartphone, laptop, or home TV via Super Talk TV on YouTube. If you're over there, hit like and subscribe. I do appreciate it. And we had we've been badgering a hate listener during the break, myself and Mason. He sent a mean thing. It's like, you don't care about sex crimes. You voted for the grab him by the blank guy. It's like, okay, dude. Okay. So I said call in, and then nothing. So then I waited a little while. I said, we can call you if it's easier. And then he said, I'd call in if I cared enough about your dumb show. I got other stuff going on right now. And Mason chimed in. He said, thanks for listening.
Thanks
Thumbs
for
up.
listening.
We appreciate it. Again, if you're watching us on YouTube, hit like, or if you're 5141, you can also hit dislike. Only if you genuinely dislike it.
Yeah.
It helps tickle the algo, and we're in the tickling of the algo business.
We're in that toe tickling algo.
We're in, we got to tickle the algorithm, so appreciate you. However you may be tickling our algorithm. We appreciate it.
We appreciate you all.
So the cabinet meeting happening, comments coming out of the cabinet. So Trump is currently taking questions at the first cabinet meeting of his second term. Elon was there, and I saw the Chiron on CNN. Elon's there, and he's not even a member of the cabinet.
Oh, my.
And I was reminding people, Jill Biden headed up the last cabinet meeting for Joe Biden. She also was not a member of the cabinet. Hunter Biden found himself in quite a few meetings that he didn't have the authority to do, but he was the bag man, so he was allowed to show up. Elon Musk addressing the cabinet meeting that he, according to CNN, has no business being in.
I want to ask you that President Trump put out a Truth Social today saying that everybody in the cabinet was happy with you. I just wondered if you had heard otherwise, and if you had heard anything about members of the cabinet who weren't happy with the way things were going, and if so, what are you doing to address those any dissatisfaction?
Elon, let the cabinet speak just for a second. Is anybody unhappy with Elon? If you are, we'll throw him out of here. Is anybody unhappy?
It sounds like everybody likes Elon Musk, doesn't it?
They have a lot of respect for Elon and that he's doing this, and some disagree a little bit, but I will tell you, for the most part, I think everyone's not only happy, they're thrilled. So go ahead, Elon.
I'm grateful. And President Trump has put together, I think, the best cabinet ever. Literally. So
President Trump has put together the best cabinet ever, literally. I mean, you look at this room. You got Peter Navarro in there. You got Howard Lutnick in there. You got Stephen Miller, Susie Wiles, RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, Pam Bondi. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. Yeah, best cabinet ever. Literally, yeah, I think that's on the nose.
and I do not give false praise. This is an incredible group of people. I don't think that such a talented team has actually ever been assembled. I think it's literally the best cabinet that the country has ever had, and I think the company should be incredibly appreciative of the people in this room.
Yeah, I agree with that. I am very appreciative of the people in the room. Beginning with Doge, listen, nobody voted for Elon. No, nobody voted for Elon Musk. That's the argument that they throw. They think that's gonna work. Scott Jennings was on CNN last night, and they were telling him nobody voted for Elon, and the liberals on this panel, they just can't keep up with Scott Jennings, and I don't even know if it's a Scott Jennings thing or it's just a liberal versus conservative thing right now. You can just beat them down with facts to the point that their brains malfunction. Like they don't want to have real conversations. They want to throw jabs and then run away. And that's all liberals, whether you're on the super text line or you're on CNN. You guys share that in common. The left is really discombobulated right now. And anytime you bring them facts, they melt down.
I'm sorry, can I ask a question? Did Joe Biden have staff at the White House? And how many of those staff members were elected?
Well, but Scott, Elon
zero.
Musk
The answer is zero. Every president appoints people to do things for them. To call him unelected is like the most naive and ridiculous talking point I've ever heard.
Scott, I can't believe you would believe something like this, because if this was Joe Biden allowing for a billionaire,
allowing
helped
people
get
who
him
weren't elected to run the country
in
for the
White
last
House,
4 years,
you
yeah, I would
all
believe
would
that
be
actually.
throwing another coup like January 6th.
Oh, January 6th, January 6th, January 6th. Did I mention January 6th? This is what they have. And spoiler alert, it's not much. They said, Scott, this is a billionaire we're talking about. You understand the evil that comes with being a billionaire. President Biden wouldn't be bending the knee to billionaires. And then Scott Jennings goes, oh, word, George Soros?
I would believe it if Joe Biden had unelected people running the government for the last year, maybe the last 4 years. Yeah, I'd believe every word of it.
You wouldn't be up in arms, Scott.
I was up in arms about it.
You
I think
and
there's a
Republican
difference if it was
members would be
George
up in arms.
Soros. I think that the example is not, obviously everyone has unelected people in that they appoint. The difference is if it was George Soros. Right.
George Soros does have influence over Democrats. He collects your people like Pokemon cards.
Yo, shots fired.
So good.
He said he collects your people like Pokemon cards. And fact check, true.
Gotta catch them all.
Listen, you gotta catch them all. You can go down the list. Every prominent Democrat that's in the media sphere right now has a picture. If not with George, with his young buck Alex Soros. Yeah, they're all comped. Let's not beat around the bush. They're unelected billionaires influencing the Democrats. Yep. The difference is that Elon Musk's influence in the Trump administration is to the benefit of the American people, where George Soros' billionaire influence with the Democrat Party was to the detriment of the American people. And look no further than the Summer of Love and Black Lives Matter and the radical leftist prosecutors that got put in. It's a massive difference. Elon was unelected. Yeah. Yep. That's true. And we should cry. Because Elon, this unelected billionaire, he's cutting so much spending and so many jobs that, these poor federal workers, what are they going to do? Where are they going to get their next paycheck from? Oh, I saw this one video, man. It's like, you ever see like the Sarah McLachlan Arms of an Angel pet adoption ads, and you're like, oh, it hits me right in the soul. That's what I felt when I heard this message from a laid-off IRS agent.
I just want my job back.
Okay. This is a grown man who worked for the IRS. That's embarrassing enough. But then he's crying about it. He's crying. I just want my job back.
I just want my job back. I just want to go to work. I just want to work. I want my job back. I want the unions to fight. I want the legislation to be reversed. Let us work. Let us do what they employed us to do, what we took our oath to do.
Rob American citizens. What isn't the IRS? They launched like an audit, like right before Biden left office. Biden's IRS launched an audit of Hegseth. They're just slime balls. I just want to work. You know what this one needs? This needs a little sad violin. Can you cue up some sad violin for me? This gentleman, he deserves all the sad violin treatment.
I just want my job back. I just want to go to work.
Yep. Oh, that hits.
I just want to work.
It knocks.
I want my job back.
I know you do. It's not going to happen.
I want the unions to fight.
Not for you.
I want the legislation to be reversed.
Not going to happen.
Let us work.
No.
Let us do what they employed us to do, what we took our oath to do.
No. It sounds better with the sad violin, though.
Oh, 100%.
It always does. You know, the funny thing is, like, I look at these people. I'm like, okay, what did you do? What did you do for the IRS? You can cut the sad violin. We're not gonna play him again. But was this guy in PR? Thank you. Was this guy in PR for the IRS? What did he do? Was he like in communications? Because what company was it? It was USAID. They had people on 60 Minutes just crying, so broken up about losing their job. And then like a 15-minute internet search like showed that they were former speechwriters for communications at USAID. It's like, oh, you got the propagandists to spread propaganda. What a weird concept. When you get actual people talking about these issues, Actual federal workers, not the ones that are upset that they were fired because they didn't do a good job, not the ones that were, let go because we don't need you to do this job, but like actual people, you get a much different story. This happened on The Breakfast Club, which is a huge syndicated hip-hop morning show out of New York. They're in just about every major market in the country, from Atlanta to Detroit to D.C. I mean, these guys are everywhere. We play some of his clips often, Charlemagne, because, he's a leftist, and it's fun. It's fun to do at times. But they had an actual federal worker call into The Breakfast Club. This was yesterday. And this actual federal worker, who I believe she worked at DHS, she just unloads on the laziness of the federal workforce. There's the old rumor that it's like 20% of the people do 80% of the work at the federal level. 20% of the people do 80% of the work. And you listen to this woman that called in The Breakfast Club as they were trashing Elon and trashing Doge, and it's like, yeah, it's probably pretty accurate.
Department of Human Services.
Okay. Well, now what's up? How are you feeling? Did you get one of those emails? Talk to us.
Yes, I got the email, and I honestly feel like this is a great opportunity to outline what you as an employee bring to the bring to the federal government. And if it's really good what you outline, they could give you an opportunity to get a promotion or something. Like, God forbid they ask you what you've done.
Honestly, I said this the other day, that email from Elon Musk, it's a double-edged sword. They're not just looking for the lazy people who aren't checking their emails, who didn't do anything last week. They're looking for the good employees, too. They're looking for the guys that go above and beyond. That's what they're looking for. And this employee just laid that out. She works for DHS. She says, I saw that email as an opportunity. Are you kidding me? And then she goes on to say, any other job would ask you what you did last week, too.
Any other job, they'll ask you at the end of the week, at the end of the month, because I used to do bookkeeping. Okay, so what do we do, at the end of the month? What are the clients that we have to, gear towards to? So at the end of the day, God forbid anybody make any, and it's just democratic thing. It's like, I don't want to get the parties into it, but they don't want to go to work. They want to work from home. People are not working from home. This is what you signed up for. If you don't like it, resign. You know what I'm saying? They gave you the opportunity to find another job. I mean, it's not that hard. You're complaining about actually working. I don't get it.
I'm not mad at your perspective. That's why I like talking to people. I like talking to people, and I like talking to people who are in it, because everybody sees things a different way. I haven't heard this perspective. Do you?
You hear that at the end there, Charlamagne? I haven't heard this perspective. I haven't heard that there are people that are in the federal government that are just lazy and not doing work. I've actually, this is new to me. This is a foreign, so you haven't heard that perspective? What? Listen, I just want to point out how great this call was. Again, this is a syndicated show in just about every major market in the country, like Las Vegas to New York to Atlanta to Detroit to Chicago. Like, they're everywhere, and every small market in between. And what this woman did by calling in, and what they inadvertently did by allowing her on the air, was bust up the narrative. They're not saying anything positive about Elon Musk. This call gets through, and it's another viewpoint that just hit the airwaves. And maybe, just maybe, there are some people out there listening and go, okay, I was thinking the exact same thing. Okay, maybe that is the reality of it. People are lazy. People don't want to work, and they want to keep cutting checks from the government. That's got to stop. It's got to stop. And it looks like it is going to stop. The Trump administration has ordered federal agencies to prepare for massive downsizing by March 13th. The White House is directing agency heads to prepare for large-scale reductions in force and submit reorganization plans by mid-March, cutting unnecessary roles and wasteful programs. Thank you, thank you, thank you. They sent out a memo, and the memo states that the federal government is bloated, inefficient, and failing the American people. True, true, true. They say tax dollars are funding unproductive programs instead of serving citizens. Check. Key sectors like law enforcement, border security, and national defense will be exempt from cuts, ensuring critical functions remain intact. But the downsizing is coming mid-March. and it's part of Trump's DOGE plan, aiming for maximum reductions in non-essential roles, office consolidations, and the elimination of bureaucratic waste. The first phase of the reorganization plan is due March 13th, with full implementation expected by September 30th, 2025. The swamp, my friends, it's draining. It's going to take some time. But this administration right now, this Trump term, the second Trump term, they're operating on a whole different level from the first Trump term, and I'm here for it. It's 11:52 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Jake, is very
11:56, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I'm Chris Hand, Chad Benson in studio.
What?
And we're both going to be at the Nashville Palace March 4th.
That's right.
That party's going to be wild.
Comedy.
It's going to be awesome. Tickets available 997WTN.com. You get yourself a buffet, get yourself some reserved seats, some drink tickets, all the good stuff.
What are they serving? Do we know?
I don't know yet. But every time that they've had a buffet at any of these events, it's always been top notch.
Nice.
I don't know. I probably should look into it.
We should figure out what that, I've been on their thing, but I didn't know we're having a buffet.
Yeah, we got a buffet.
Ooh, a buffet.
It looks like pulled pork, fried chicken. It's barbecue. It's barbecue.
So you can hang out with us and have snacks and watch Trump.
It's worth it for the barbecue.
Yeah.
It's worth it for the barbecue. And the whole squad's going to be there. Mandis, Murphy, Benson, Weaver, Jones, Wilson, myself. I've heard Headless Bill might come too.
We're trying to make him go.
He said he's going to hide in the back.
That's okay.
We can get him the velvet rope in a bag.
We should do the brown paper bag,
That's what I said.
the old school.
He goes, well, then anybody could do that. That's fine. Doesn't matter.
Oh, we should pay somebody then.
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, that'd be funny. Yeah. If he doesn't come, we should just have somebody
take
anyway.
A picture of his face and then have it blown up, and then just somebody wear a bell head.
Like a fat head?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do that.
That'd be awesome. I got fat heads, these ones that are giant, I got Trump, Biden, Bernie, Hillary, and they're huge. And they're like a mask, and you put them on, you can see through them. They're great.
I feel like I'd be walking through the house at 2 a.m. and then see the Hillary one and just be like, ah!
Oh, God, it's awesome. Bernie's funny because it's like, every time he walks by, he's like, are you a millionaire? Are you a billionaire? I want to know.
Have you heard about Jake Tapper's new book? Are you excited about this?
I'm excited for it.
Jake Tapper's got a new book out covering the decline of Joe Biden, which the cover-up of the decline of Joe Biden, which he was very much a part of. Oh, you want to give me some audio, Mason? Thank you, sir.
Come on, Mason.
It's very clearly a cognitive decline.
Okay.
That's what I'm referring to. It makes me uncomfortable.
You have no.
I can't.
It's so amazing. It's so amazing to me that
and try and figure out an answer.
A cognitive decline.
Well, when you're trying to tell me that what I was suggesting was
I think that you were mocking his stutter. Yeah, I think you were mocking his stutter, and I think you have absolutely no standing to diagnose somebody's cognitive decline. I would think that somebody in the Trump family would be more sensitive to people who do not have medical licenses diagnosing politicians from afar. Plenty of people have diagnosed your father from afar, and I'm sure it offends you. Your father,
Jake.
Yeah, they did. And you know what? You didn't defend that.
No.
You
let it go.
Right?
That was Laura Trump.
You know what? That's all Russian lies, and it's a right-wing talking point, and I'm going to write a book about it.
Yep. By the way, now that I can make some money off of it, it's totally true.
It's too late, though. Somebody had a chance to be the next Woodward and Bernstein, and they blew the opportunity.
Yep. You're absolutely right. They blew it because the money was too good.
Yeah.
The money was too good, and they thought that the rig was going to be in and that they were going to win that thing.
And then they wouldn't be invited to whatever.
Yeah, the parties.
Yeah, the parties.
Yeah, it's always about the parties.
It's always about the parties.
I'm buying that book, and I'm going to work my tail off to get Jake Tapper on the air for an interview to promote it.
That'd be great. I want to see you. Yeah, do it.
We got some emails. We're going to send them out this afternoon.
Let's do it.
What do you got coming up on your show today?
You know what? I'm going to talk about Trump's golden ticket, which is hilarious. I'm going to talk about Ruby Frank, the crazy mom who got arrested and she's been sentenced to jail, who had her kids. Basically, she was starving them, so they were on YouTube all day and basically wouldn't let them leave the house. And it's a crazy story because the dad's speaking out now. And quite frankly, I blame the dad for a lot of this. You touch my kid, lady? The stuff that she did to these kids?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm with you.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that. We had some immigration stuff. I heard you talking about old Ron there.
Yep.
Yeah, Ron. He was in, my buddy saw him this weekend. He's driving. They're all out there with bullhorns going, ICE is coming. ICE is coming.
I hate these people. These child predators, rapists, murderers. Yeah. Hey, guys.
And you know what happens now?
You're members of our community, and we got to keep you safe.
They show up at these people's workplaces now, and now these people get caught up in something because you want to protect gangsters and people that are bad.
It's so dumb.
Absolutely. We talk about that. A bunch of other stuff today, man.
Chad's in next, 12:01, Super Talk 99.7.